are locked into the Cowbell Kingdom podcast, frontline coverage of the Sacramento Kings. Now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Santiago and James Ham.
We're here with Pete Alessandro at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Pete, are you surviving the summer heat?
I think it's just as hot in Sacramento from what I heard, so I guess we're doing okay.
You know, when you're sitting here watching Summer League, what is it that you're looking for from your own players, from the players on other teams? What is it that you're trying to spot?
What's interesting for us is, we decided as a staff this year we want to increase our pace, and we keep talking about pace. So to watch, we have such a group of young players that are actually going to be playing for us this year. To watch the chemistry with them and how they're developing over multiple games. It doesn't happen in one game. It's got to happen over multiple games. I think today was a really good example of how we kind of increased our scoring and really had a very balanced scoring attack, which was it was impressive to me for our team the way they're playing.
You've watched Ben McLemore have sort of a rough start, a lot of turnovers early on, but he did have a breakout game today. How much is it about confidence with him, and how much does he need Summer League and things like this to grow as a player?
Yeah, I think it kind of happens naturally with players. And I think, right now they've all come in here and they're trying new things. The staff is trying to run some new things with Tyrone Corbin. We talked about running some of that Utah action and maybe even playing a little two-guard front here. So, when you have young players and you're kind of introducing new things, sometimes not just Ben, but all of them are trying to figure that part out. At the end of the day, though, I think it's great to see him have a game like this today, and hopefully he continues it to finish out the week.
All right, we've got Nick Stauskas, your first-round pick this year. It's kind of unfair for Nick at Summer League because he's a guy who really will play well off of a player like DeMarcus Cousins. So it's tough to judge, but so far, so good. I mean, he's got great handles. He's a willing passer. His defense is better than advertised. What are you seeing from him?
All that, honestly, all that. I think, we knew about his passing and his handling. And defensively, we always felt like, athletically, he's not really as advertised. If you look at the way he's played out here, you can see the guy plays with intensity and plays with passion. And that's really what defense is all about. And when you have a coaching staff that also, teaches the fundamentals of defense, I think it's going to be very good for him. But we're very pleased with Nick. I mean, Nick is he's a basketball junkie. He just loves the game. And you love having guys like that on your team.
He was honest after the last game on Sunday about maybe being typecast because he's a white guy who can shoot, that he can't play defense. You think that is something that goes on in the league with players like him?
I mean, I just think that people look at players and they see a guy who's like really gifted offensively, and so they say that's what that guy is. And I think it's more like, what are the things there are things that really make him stand out, and you can see them out here now. The guy shoots the ball, the guy handles the ball, and so when you look on the defense end, you don't quite see the same thing. But what I see is a guy who's very adequate defensively, and I think can become much better. So I think when we were doing our analysis of him, that's how we saw him. We think he could be very special offensively as he develops, and so we're hoping for that. And we'll see how our staff kind of brings him along on the defensive end as well.
Now you've got a few young players here that you invited. Is there anyone that's standing out that possibly could get an invite going forward to training camp?
We look at all the guys. Like when we bring them in, we do. And now that we have Reno in particular, there's even more of an incentive for us to try to develop relationships with these players. And I think you've seen some guys, play particularly well. And I think, Marshawn's played very well. And Eric Moreland you've seen play very well. So there's been a couple of, and among others, even James that we had in our D-League situation last year. So I think, we're impressed with some of the guys. We haven't come to our final conclusion on things, but we have so many more options in terms of what we can do now that we have Reno.
How is the synergy working between Reno and the parent club in Sacramento? Is it you feel like you've got a proving ground there, somewhere you can send someone to work with Joel Abelson and sort of build players up?
I think Joel has done a fantastic job. I think he's a rising coach in NBA circles, not just D-League circles. I think he's done that good of a job. I think he also has a very good eye for talent, and we've leaned on him quite a bit this past year for his ability to evaluate talent. So in terms of how we communicate, I think it was year one, and we jumped into it. And what I believe is that Joel did a lot of stuff and was able to just be like a startup, really be a startup guy and kind of heading it up. He was there every day with the guys. I think I should have been there somewhat more. It was hard to do in year one, and next year I'll be there quite a bit more. My staff will be there quite a bit more. A tribute to Sharif and Chris Gilbert, because they were there quite a bit and really handled that. And I think everyone as a group did a great job. But what I would like to see, we were in year one. I sat down with Joel the other day. I'd like to see an organized plan for year two, which we didn't have time to put together in year one. And we're going to do that.
Okay, I've got to ask about the Isaiah Thomas, Darren Collison situation. When you look at this move, it's hard for a lot of people to see a talent improvement. But is it possible that this team is better with that switch because he brings a different dynamic? He changes the dynamic of the team where, once again, you don't have 3 20-point scorers going at it and leaving the other 10 guys out in the cold.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, our feeling for Isaiah as an organization was really, I mean, we have so much respect and admiration for him, and when I say we wish him well, like I said, we really do wish him well. I mean, Isaiah's a really a great young player who's a prolific scorer and can score at will. And those guys, it's really impressive what he does as a player. But for us now, again, we had 28 wins, and that's not blaming Isaiah. We don't blame Isaiah for anything. We just know we need to change. We need to change to get better. And so we try to analyze chemistry. We try to figure it out. This isn't a perfect science, but we're really, really happy with Darren Collison because, frankly, he does things that, we haven't had here in terms of the way he can push the ball, the speed of, and we keep talking about pace and the speed of the game. And that's what we really want to try to do this year, and we're striving to do. And I think he's an ideal candidate for that. So we're really, really excited about him. And, and also some of the leadership. One of the things that really impressed me about Darren is one of the first things, he said to me was, hey, where's D. Will? I want to call him on to get together with him. Where are the guys? Where's DeMarcus working out? Where's it? He's calling me like every day, and it's about things that are beyond his game. And we need that to be a good team. We need guys like that to be a really good team. And I think we brought a really mature young man in who is going to have more than affect just the floor, but also how we are, interpersonally with our roster.
You brought Rudy Gay back. That's a huge, feather in the cap for you guys that you were able to convince him to come back again. He sounds like he's willing to negotiate an extension and stay here long term. Is that something you guys are going to look to do, or are you going to wait till next summer? What is it that you're looking to do with Rudy Gay going forward?
Yeah, Rudy, call me. No, honestly, and I joke about it, but we feel so strongly about him, and he knows that. We've told him everything we feel. Our fans, really, really and truly, I can't thank the fans enough. That day when he came in was incredible. I mean, it was so hot out at the airport, and there were too many people for everyone to go inside, so everyone's out there sweating. The plane's running behind, and it affected him. It really did. And I know he's a basketball player first, and what's on the floor is the most important thing to him, but he also sees what we have going on here is special. It really is special. And I thank the fans, and I'll continue to thank them because that's the kind of energy that's really going to get us players.
You've got more roster moves to make before the start of the season. How much more can you change this team? Are you hamstrung? How much does that $7.2 million trade exemption help you? And sort of how do you see this last couple of months before training camp starts playing out for you guys?
We're going to be active. We have to be active because I think there's still things we need to do to our roster to improve it. You build through free agency, which is using exceptions, or you build through trades, which is using exceptions. And so we're going to continue to build with whatever tools we have. And so we're gonna be aggressive. I've been, as you've probably seen, talking to a lot of people, meeting with a lot of people here, and making a lot of calls. But we're not stopping. We're gonna get this team right.
All right. Thank you so much, Pete.